milk. It's supposed to be pure, wholesome, and good for your bones. But for seniors, the truth is unsettling. From bacterial contamination to hidden hormones, some milk brands are putting your heart, kidneys, and immune system at serious risk. Today, we're exposing 11 milk brands you must stop buying immediately and revealing the 2 that are actually safe. Coming in at number 11, we've got Fairlife Milk. Fairlife built its entire reputation on being ultra-filtered, high-protein, and lactose-free. The sleek bottles promise premium quality. Coca-Cola owns this brand, and they marketed it as the future of milk. Cleaner, purer, better for you. But in 2019, undercover footage from Fair Oaks Farms, their flagship supplier, revealed horrific animal abuse. Calves were kicked, thrown, and beaten. Workers were caught on camera stabbing animals with pitchforks. The footage went viral, sparking national outrage. Now, you might think animal welfare doesn't affect what's in your glass. But here's what matters for your health. Farms with poor animal treatment often have poor sanitation standards. Stressed, sick animals produce milk with higher bacterial loads. When corners are cut on welfare, corners get cut everywhere. For seniors managing cholesterol or blood pressure, the promise of better milk rings hollow when the supply chain is this compromised. You trusted the premium price tag. You trusted the marketing. But behind the clean white bottles was a dirty operation. And here's something most people never consider. Isn't it strange how billion-dollar food companies keep having scandals like this, yet their products stay on every shelf like nothing happened? The FDA didn't pull Fairlife. Stores kept selling it. The company apologized, promised changes, and kept collecting your money. For seniors on fixed incomes paying extra for premium milk, this betrayal cuts deep. If you're still buying Fairlife thinking it's healthier, ask yourself, do you really trust a company that let this happen for years before getting caught? At number 10, we have Great Value Milk from Walmart. Great Value is Walmart's house brand, and it dominates the dairy aisle because of one thing: price. Seniors on tight budgets reach for it every week. The jugs are massive, the cost is low, and the label looks harmless enough. But Great Value Milk is sourced from multiple farms and processing facilities across the country. This creates a supply chain so complex that tracing contamination becomes nearly impossible. When something goes wrong, it can affect millions of gallons before anyone notices. In 2023, multiple Walmart locations pulled Great Value Milk due to potential spoilage issues. Customers reported opening jugs to find curdled, foul-smelling milk days before the expiration date. The smell was described as sour and sulfuric, the texture lumpy and thick. For seniors, drinking spoiled milk isn't just unpleasant. It can trigger severe gastrointestinal distress, dehydration, and dangerous complications for those on blood thinners or heart medications. Vomiting and diarrhea can disrupt medication absorption, throwing carefully managed health conditions into chaos. The low price comes with a hidden cost: inconsistent quality control. Walmart squeezes suppliers on margins, and when profits get tight, safety protocols suffer. The shiny red label promises value. What it delivers is uncertainty. According to FDA data, store-brand dairy products account for a disproportionate share of consumer complaints related to spoilage and contamination. Great Value isn't the exception, it's the pattern. You're saving a few dollars per gallon, but what are you risking every time you pour that milk into your morning coffee? Now at number 9, we've got Horizon Organic Milk. Horizon Organic is everywhere. The happy cow on the carton, the green pastures, the word organic in bold letters. For health-conscious seniors, it feels like the safe choice. You're paying nearly double the price of regular milk because you believe it's cleaner and better. But Horizon has faced serious criticism for years. The Cornucopia Institute, a farm policy watchdog, gave Horizon a failing grade for its organic practices. Investigators found that Horizon sources milk from massive industrial operations, where cows spend little to no time on actual pastures. The organic label requires pasture access. Horizon's interpretation of that requirement has been called factory farm organic. Thousands of cows crammed into feedlots, given organic grain, but denied the grass-fed lifestyle the packaging implies. For seniors concerned about hormone residues and antibiotic contamination, the organic label should mean something. But when the spirit of organic is violated while the letter of the law is technically followed, you're paying premium prices for industrial milk with better marketing. In 2017, consumer advocacy groups filed complaints alleging that Horizon misled customers about the pastoral origins of their milk. The lawsuits were settled quietly, and nothing on the label changed. The betrayal here is subtle but significant. You looked at that carton and pictured small farms, sunshine, and healthy cows. The reality is concrete: crowded conditions and corporate efficiency. Your trust was exploited. Most people never learn the truth behind organic labels. But stick around. The solution is coming at the very end of this video. Number 8 brings us Dean's Dairy Pure. Dean Foods was once the largest dairy company in America. Dairy Pure was their flagship brand, sold in grocery stores from coast to coast. The name itself promises purity: clean, safe, wholesome milk. But in 2019, Dean Foods filed for bankruptcy. The company that supplied milk to millions of American families collapsed under debt and declining sales. When corporations fail, quality control is often the first casualty. During Dean's financial struggles, inspection reports revealed troubling patterns. Facilities showed inconsistent refrigeration temperatures, equipment maintenance backlogs, and overworked staff rushing to meet quotas. For a product as temperature-sensitive as milk, these failures are dangerous. Milk stored even slightly above proper temperatures becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli thrive in these conditions. For seniors with weakened immune systems, a single contaminated glass can mean hospitalization, or worse. The brand was eventually acquired by Dairy Farmers of America, but the transition period left quality in limbo. Some processing plants changed hands multiple times. Standards varied wildly depending on which facility filled your jug. When you see Dairy Pure on the shelf today, you're buying milk from a brand that nearly disappeared. The name promises purity. The history tells a different story. For seniors managing diabetes or kidney disease, the stakes are too high to gamble on a brand with this track record. Every sip is an act of faith in a system that already failed once. Moving to number 7, we've got Borden Milk. Borden has been around since 1857. Elsie the cow is one of the most recognizable mascots in American history. For generations, families trusted Borden as the wholesome choice. But legacy doesn't guarantee safety. Borden filed for bankruptcy in 2020, following the same pattern as Dean Foods. The dairy industry's financial crisis hit Borden hard, and when money gets tight, safety suffers. During bankruptcy proceedings, workers reported understaffing at processing plants. Fewer employees meant less oversight. Equipment that should have been cleaned and maintained was rushed through cycles. The milk kept flowing, but the standards slipped. In 2022, Borden recalled products in multiple states due to potential contamination concerns. The recalls were quietly issued, barely making headlines. But for the seniors who drank that milk, the damage may already have been done. Bacterial contamination in milk can cause symptoms that mimic the flu: fever, body aches, digestive distress. For seniors, these symptoms can be dismissed as normal aging or seasonal illness. By the time the real cause is identified, complications may have already set in. Nostalgic packaging shows Elsie smiling. The reality is a company struggling to survive, cutting corners to stay afloat. You remember Borden from your childhood, but the Borden of today is not the brand your parents trusted. Why do you think companies with century-long histories still have recalls? Is it accidents, or is it just the ones they actually got caught on? At number 6, there's Kemp's Milk. Kemp's is a regional favorite in the Midwest. The brand markets itself as local, family-friendly, and rooted in community values. For seniors in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and surrounding states, Kemp's feels like a neighbor you can trust. But trust doesn't survive FDA inspection reports. In recent years, Kemp's facilities have been cited for sanitation violations, including inadequate cleaning of processing equipment and improper storage temperatures. One inspection noted residue buildup on surfaces that come into direct contact with milk. Residue buildup means bacteria have a place to grow. Every batch processed on contaminated equipment carries that bacterial load into your refrigerator. The creamy white milk looks pure. What you can't see is what should concern you. For seniors taking immunosuppressant medications or managing chronic conditions, even minor bacterial exposure can cascade into serious illness. The regional charm of the brand masks industrial-scale production with industrial-scale risks. Kemp's also produces ice cream and other dairy products, spreading their supply chain thin. When a company diversifies rapidly, quality control for any single product can suffer. Your gallon of milk is just one item on a long production line. The promise of local community values is powerful, but when inspectors find sanitation failures, those values ring hollow. You wanted to support a Midwestern brand. What you got was Midwestern marketing with national-scale problems. If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It's free, and it means you'll never miss these exposés. Most people never learn which milk brands are actually safe, but we'll break it down at the very end of the video. The answer is coming, so don't go anywhere. Coming in at number 5, we've got Lactaid milk. Lactaid changed the game for lactose-intolerant Americans. The enzyme-treated milk let millions enjoy dairy without the digestive consequences. For seniors whose lactose tolerance decreased with age, Lactaid seemed like a miracle. But Lactaid is owned by HP Hood, and their processing facilities have faced scrutiny. In 2021, consumer complaints spiked regarding Lactaid products that tasted off, smelled sour before expiration, or caused unexpected digestive distress, even in people who normally tolerated the product. The lactase enzyme is added during processing. If that processing is inconsistent, the enzyme may not be properly distributed throughout the milk. Some sips are fine. Others still contain lactose that your body can't handle. For seniors, the digestive distress from improperly processed Lactaid isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Diarrhea and cramping can lead to dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, and falls. For those on diuretics or blood pressure medications, these complications compound rapidly. The purple packaging promises freedom from lactose, but when the product doesn't deliver consistent enzyme treatment, you're gambling with every glass. The freedom becomes a false promise. According to Consumer Reports, Lactaid complaints have increased over the past 3 years. The brand's response has been to blame improper storage by retailers. But when the pattern persists across multiple stores and regions, the problem lies upstream, at the source. You trusted science to solve your digestive problems. But science only works when quality control is maintained. For Lactaid, that consistency has become questionable. Number 4 on the list is True Moo chocolate milk. True Moo is marketed to families, but plenty of seniors enjoy chocolate milk as a treat or a way to get calcium when plain milk doesn't appeal. The brand promises no high-fructose corn syrup and simple ingredients, but True Moo is produced by multiple dairy companies under license, meaning quality varies dramatically depending on where you buy it. The same True Moo carton from California might be processed completely differently than one from Texas. This licensing model creates accountability gaps. When something goes wrong, responsibility gets passed between the brand owner and the regional processor. Recalls become slow and incomplete. Contamination can spread before anyone takes ownership. In 2020, True Moo products were pulled from schools in several states after children reported stomach illness. The investigation revealed temperature control failures during distribution. Chocolate flavoring can mask the sour smell that warns you plain milk has spoiled. For seniors, this masking effect is especially dangerous. You might drink chocolate milk that's gone bad without any sensory warning. The sweetness covers the sourness. By the time you feel sick, you've consumed a full glass. The sugar content in flavored milk also concerns seniors managing diabetes. True Moo may skip high fructose corn syrup, but it still contains added sugars that spike blood glucose. The healthier marketing obscures the metabolic risk. You wanted an enjoyable way to get your calcium. What you got was inconsistent quality, hidden behind chocolate sweetness. At number 3, we have Oak Farms Dairy Milk. Oak Farms is a Texas institution. The brand has served the Southwest for decades, positioning itself as the local choice for families who care about freshness. But Oak Farms is now owned by Dairy Farmers of America, the same cooperative that absorbed Dean Foods after its bankruptcy. The local branding remains, but the corporate structure has changed dramatically. Inspection records from Oak Farms facilities have shown repeated citations for equipment cleanliness and employee hygiene protocols. In one report, inspectors noted that workers handled milk containers without proper hand-washing procedures. Direct human contact with packaging increases contamination risk exponentially. For seniors in Texas and surrounding states, Oak Farms feels like supporting local agriculture. The reality is that your milk comes from a massive national cooperative with facilities scattered across the country. The local farmer imagery is marketing, not reality. Temperature-controlled trucks are supposed to keep milk cold from processing plant to store shelf. But when distribution networks get stretched thin, as they did during the DFA consolidation, refrigeration failures happen. That should arrive at 38 degrees, might sit at 45 degrees for hours. Those 7 degrees make all the difference. Bacteria double every 20 minutes at improper temperatures. By the time the milk reaches your refrigerator, the bacterial load may already be dangerous. The Oak Farms name evokes Texas pride. The product increasingly reflects corporate cost-cutting. Local loyalty shouldn't mean local risk. Coming in at number 2, we've got Clover Sonoma Milk. Clover Sonoma markets itself as the ethical choice. Animal welfare certified, non-GMO verified, and produced by family farms in Northern California. The branding is beautiful. The values seem aligned with health-conscious seniors who want to do right by their bodies and the planet. But in 2023, Clover Sonoma faced a class action lawsuit alleging that their family farm sourcing claims were misleading. Plaintiffs argued that Clover purchased milk from large industrial operations that didn't match the pastoral imagery on their cartons. The lawsuit revealed internal documents showing that Clover's supply chain included farms with thousands of cows, far from the small family operations depicted in their marketing. The premium prices seniors paid were based on a story that didn't match reality. For health purposes, the concern is what happens when marketing outpaces accountability. If a company is willing to mislead you about where milk comes from, what else are they willing to obscure? Hormone treatments, antibiotic use, and bacterial testing protocols all depend on honest supply chain management. Clover's animal welfare certifications came under scrutiny during the lawsuit. Third-party auditors found inconsistencies between certified farms and actual sourcing records. The happy cows on the label may have come from operations that never received certification. You paid premium prices because you believed in something better. You wanted your dollars to support ethical farming. Instead, they may have funded the same industrial system wearing a different mask. The lawsuit is ongoing, but the damage to trust is already done. Don't go yet. The safe options are coming at the very end, and they could change how you shop for milk forever. Most people never find out which brands actually pass inspection. You will? And at number 1, the milk brand you absolutely must stop buying, we've got Kroger brand milk. Kroger is the largest supermarket chain in America. Their store brand milk is in millions of refrigerators right now, chosen because it's cheap and convenient. When you shop at Kroger, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, or any of their subsidiary stores, this milk is right there, priced to move. But Kroger's milk has a troubling history that most shoppers never hear about. In 2023, Kroger recalled milk products across multiple states due to potential contamination with cleaning solution. Sodium hydroxide, a caustic chemical used to sanitize equipment, had leaked into milk during processing. Drinking. Sodium hydroxide can cause chemical burns to the mouth, throat, and digestive tract. For seniors with sensitive digestive systems, esophageal damage, or existing GI conditions, consuming even small amounts of caustic chemicals can cause permanent injury. The recall affected thousands of gallons, but not before contaminated milk reached store shelves and home refrigerators. This wasn't Kroger's first contamination issue. Previous years saw recalls for bacterial contamination, temperature control failures, and labeling errors that put allergy sufferers at risk. The pattern reveals a systemic problem: cost cutting at the expense of safety. Kroger's business model depends on high volume and low margins. Store brand products like milk are processed at contracted facilities where Kroger's oversight is limited. When you buy Kroger milk, you don't know which plant filled your jug, what their inspection history looks like, or how many times they've been cited for violations. The price is low. The risk is hidden. Statistics from the FDA show that store-brand dairy products face recall rates nearly twice as high as name brands. When corporations prioritize price competition over safety protocols, seniors pay the price with their health. Why are seniors targeted with low prices on products that seem to cause the most health problems? Coincidence? Or is there something more calculated happening in the dairy aisle? You see the Kroger label and think savings. The corporation sees acceptable risk. For your heart, your kidneys, your immune system, that risk is anything but acceptable. If you have Kroger milk in your refrigerator right now, check the expiration date, check for any off smells, and consider whether the savings are worth what you might be consuming. Do you think the government protects consumers or the food industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. Now, here's what you've been waiting for: the 2 milk brands that are actually safe. We've spent this entire video exposing the brands that betray your trust: hidden contamination, misleading labels, bacterial risks that target seniors with weakened immune systems. It's overwhelming, and it might feel like no milk is safe, but that's not true. There are brands that do it right, companies that invest in safety, maintain transparency, and consistently pass inspections with flying colors. These are the milks you can trust, and they're available in stores right now. The first safe option is Organic Valley Grass milk. Organic Valley is a cooperative of small family farms, not just marketing copy, but actual verified small-scale operations across America. Their grass milk line comes exclusively from cows that eat 100% grass. No grain, no corn, no questionable feed. What makes Organic Valley different from brands like Horizon? Accountability. The cooperative structure means farmers have ownership stakes in the company. When quality slips, their own livelihoods suffer. This alignment of incentives creates natural quality control. Organic Valley's testing protocols exceed USDA requirements. They test for bacteria, antibiotics, and hormone residues at multiple points in the supply chain. The results are published in annual transparency reports, something most dairy companies refuse to do. For seniors managing cholesterol, the 100% grass-fed distinction matters. Grass-fed milk contains higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids and CLA, both associated with cardiovascular benefits. You're not just avoiding danger, you're actively supporting heart health. Organic Valley has never faced a major recall for contamination. Their facilities consistently pass FDA inspections with minimal citations. The price is higher than store brands, but you're paying for actual safety, not just safety theater. When you pour Organic Valley grass milk into your coffee, you can trust what's in the glass. That peace of mind is worth every penny. The second safe option is Alexandre Family Farm, A2 Milk. Alexandre Family Farm is a certified organic, regenerative dairy operation in Northern California. They're one of the few dairies in America producing A2 milk, a protein variant that's easier on sensitive digestive systems. Standard milk contains A1 and A2 proteins. For many people, especially seniors, the A1 protein triggers inflammation and digestive discomfort that gets blamed on lactose intolerance. Alexandra milk contains only A2 protein, eliminating this trigger entirely. But protein type isn't the only reason Alexandra makes this list. Their safety record is impeccable. The farm is family-owned and operated with complete vertical integration. They control every step from pasture to processing. No contracted facilities, no supply chain gaps, no accountability confusion. Alexandra holds certifications from Real Organic Project, which verifies that cows actually graze on pasture, not the pasture access loophole exploited by industrial organic operations. When the label shows cows in a field, that's where these cows actually live. For seniors with kidney concerns, Alexandra's commitment to clean feed matters. No pesticides, no herbicides, no chemical fertilizers on the pastures where cows graze. What cows eat affects what ends up in their milk. Clean pastures mean cleaner milk. The A2 protein benefit is particularly valuable for seniors who've given up dairy due to digestive issues. Alexandra milk may let you enjoy milk again without the cramping, bloating, and discomfort you've come to expect. That's not a marketing promise. It's biochemistry. Alexandra Family Farm proves that safe, clean, trustworthy milk exists. You just have to know where to find it. Your health is too important to gamble on brands that cut corners and hide the truth. You've now seen which milk brands betray your trust, and which ones actually deserve a place in your refrigerator. But the dairy aisle is just the beginning. Every week, we expose the hidden dangers in foods you buy every day. Bread, butter, cheese, eggs. Nothing escapes our investigation. Subscribe now. And if you're watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again. See you in the next one.